Every time tensions rise, whether it's global conflict or economic shakeups or storm season, the same shelves go bare first, every single time. Don't get caught scrambling. Today, we're going to talk about 12 everyday items that disappear fast when people panic buy, and how you can quietly stock up while everyone else is still thinking about it. That's the key. Hey friends, and welcome to SuttonsDaze. If you're new here, my name is Lisa, and we are all about pantry preparedness because it is the best insurance that money can buy. You've seen it before. One piece of news breaks and suddenly store aisles look like a hurricane tore through them, right? This week, with tensions high for various reasons, I want to help you take a deep breath. It's important to remember to breathe. Look at what really vanishes first and make sure that your home and your pantry are stocked up on essentials before they're gone. You want to get there before they're gone. You don't want to be the first one there after a situation starts. You want to be at home watching everybody else try to figure it out, okay? These are not wildly expensive preps by any stretch. These are everyday, budget-friendly items that can make the difference between peace of mind and frustration when everyone else is caught off guard. The fact of the matter is, tension seems to be a way of life anymore. The weather is more unpredictable than it's ever been. And as far as economic shakeups, isn't that the status quo anymore too? So in my opinion, for what it's worth, it's foolish to not be prepared, to not have yourself set up in case something major happens where you are. We're going to start off with the super simple number one, water. Bottled water. Bottled water is convenient. It's easy to cart around, okay? I'm not talking miles. I'm talking about, around the house, around, have it in your car, have it in your bag, have it wherever. Bottled water. It also is kind of easy to figure out how much you have with the bottled water. A case of water at Walmart, I can't remember how many bottles there are, but it's just under $6. And that case equals 5 gallons of water. It's a great way to put up water that is your first to use, and you should rotate through and keep restocking, okay? But it's a great way to stock up water. I will link a video at the end of this one on how to stock up water, how to take care of the entire water situation. If you're brand new to preparedness, then definitely take a look at that, because water is the number one thing that you want to make sure that you have in case of an emergency. When storms or unrest or supply hiccups happen, right? Water is one of the first things to disappear off the shelves. People take it out in the cartloads. In North Carolina, bottled water was cleared out 48 hours before Hurricane Florence hit. 48 hours before. So for the people that were really sitting back, resting on their laurels, they didn't have water. That's important. That's an important thing to not have happen to you. So if for some reason you have been caught off guard, take a deep breath. Okay, use a little bit of bleach, rinse out, clean out old soda bottle or juice bottle or milk jug. You want to make sure it's super clean, and then add tap water to that. Fill them up, set them aside. That's the cheapest way to do it. Otherwise, a case of bottled water is just under $6 at Walmart. Find the situation that works for you or the combination thereof. That is your first defense as far as water goes. There's more to it moving forward, but we're talking about immediate kind of things. Now, the next one is some kind of shelf-stable milk. Whether it's weather or unrest or some other kind of crazy thing going on, okay? Milk is something that people just want. The milk and bread run, French toast run, that's cute. I've never heard that before, but it's just one of those things that people do, especially if they have kids. If you are a baker, then hopefully you know that you can keep shelf-stable milk, powdered milk, in your home indefinitely. to use for when you can't get to the store for your milk. Yeah. It's a great thing to have on hand. If you have kids, you can use it definitely for, school lunches or emergency backup, that kind of thing. Oh, we drank all the milk at dinner last night. There's none for breakfast this morning on your cereal. Here, have some of this. Half the time, if you pour it out of a jug, they'll never know. Horizon organic milk was back ordered for 6 weeks in 2023. 6 weeks. Now, I know that last week I had an issue getting my Fairlife milk. It just wasn't in the stores. I don't know why. I didn't go digging for it hard. It's not the end of the world for me. But I couldn't get my Fairlife milk. What was going on with that? So if you stock powdered milk or evaporated milk, it's a very inexpensive alternative, and it allows you to still take care of business the way that you need to take care of business. I mean, during a snowstorm, I love baking. The view out the window is phenomenal, and the smell in the house is incredible, and it heats up the house along with it, and you get some delicious bread on top of it. But sometimes you need milk for that bread or for those baked goods. And who's going to run to the store during a snowstorm? Have it in powdered form. That way you've always got it if you need it. If you are lactose intolerant, then they have a lactose intolerant one. They have, I think, a shelf-stable almond milk now, too. As far as powdered milk, I'm not 100% certain, but I'm sure somebody will let us know in the comments, so be sure to check there. Milk, shelf-stable milk, is what you want to make sure that you have on hand for any upheaval that life throws our way. Number 3 is over-the-counter medication. This is cold and flu season coming up, and all of the kids are back in school, which means the walking petri dishes are spreading all the germs all over the place. I know the vid is flying through my area again, so you want to make sure that you have what you need at home based on those seasonal occurrences. It happens every single September. I don't know why people act surprised about it. So, cold and flu meds, pain relievers, children's formulas, if you have kids, right? They fly off the shelves during an outbreak. There was a point a couple of years ago where you couldn't get Benadryl. You could not get your hands on Benadryl, So you want to make sure that if it's something that you use, that you have it, and you have it not atrociously stocked up. Just make sure you've got a full bottle, Children's Tylenol shortages made national headlines in 2022. That was just 3 years ago. It happens. Through no cause of ours or anything else that we're aware of, some hiccup happens and you can't get what you need when you need it. So you want to make sure that you pick up what you need. If you use NyQuil, have a full bottle. If you use Benadryl, have a full bottle. Tylenol, same thing. Your over-the-counter medications, Rotate that stock, though. Watch the expiration dates. It's not that they go bad per se. It's that they might be a little bit less effective. And when you can, grab the generic store brands to save money. I haven't bought Mucinex brand in forever because I get the store brands. It works just as well. I'm just as happy. Life's good. And I have more cash in my pocket for my preps. Number 4 is canned protein. Canned protein is always fantastic when you're looking at, again, the situations that we're looking at. High tension. If you're living in an area that is very high tension right now, then you want to make sure that you've got some kind of canned protein. Seriously, peanut butter to tuna fish to canned chicken to canned beef. If you're a home canner, you got this, okay? But you want to make sure that you have some kind of canned protein. It makes life way easier all the way around when things are chaotic and even when they're not. So canned protein is super easy. It's ready to eat, literally all of it, when supply chains stall. You might be tired of peanut butter after a week, but it's still there and it's still giving you what you need. So tuna and chicken prices spike quickly during shipping slowdowns, something you need to be aware of. Get it on your shelves. There's never a time when you can't use it. But during the high tension, the storms, the economic shakeups, that's when they really, really come in handy. So if you can throw a couple bucks at it to just put a few cans or jars up on your shelf, then you're prepared. Something as simple as mixing a can of chicken with some pasta or some rice and some gravy, it's a great comforting meal. It's fantastic. Hide some peas in there just to drive your kids crazy. Which leads us into number 5, which is your rices, your pastas, your grains, right? Because they can help bulk up a meal so good. They really help bulk up a meal. They are the core comfort carbs. If you are not doing a lot of carbs, then obviously this is not something that you would stock up on. They are always cleared out during emergency panic buying bulk runs because everybody knows that they're comfort food. If the world is upside down, everything's chaos, there's a major storm coming in, the economy is in a dumpster fire, which we should be used to by now. But seriously, when you're at the store, what's the thing that you're going to grab if you've only got a few minutes? You're going to grab pasta or rice because it makes you feel good, because it brings you that emotional calmness when you think about the meals that you can make with it, So having that on hand is a really good thing. Now, shrinkflation has hit most of those categories. And in 2024, they actually saw bags of rice go from 20 pounds to 18 pounds. I'm like, okay. And there was no price drop. Of course, there's no price drop. Come on. So stored in buckets, stored in Mylar, stored in airtight containers, and you're good to go. They're good for a very long time. I put the pasta in mason jars. I put the rice, some of it's in mason jars, some of it's in Mylar, which is in buckets. However you can store it to the best of your ability, it just needs to be airtight and out of its original packaging. And you're good to go. It's not like it's going to go bad in the next few years. Cooking oils and fats, because if you're stuck at home due to unforeseen circumstances, you're going to want them, okay? So shortages ripple fast from global market instability, and that will impact your fats and your oils. That's another thing that comes off the shelf quick, because when you're in a panic and you're in there buying stuff, you're going to end up buying oils or fats because that's part of the equation for those comfort meals that we love, right? Now, as an example, canola oil rose 28% in Q3 of 2022. Even dollar stores ran dry of it. You could not get your hands on it. This happens, but if you always have a stock of whatever oil that you're using, then you don't have to worry about what's happening at the grocery store because you got it covered in your own little mini grocery store, right? Keep lard, keep butter, keep shortening as backups. As I mentioned in another video, you can put these in the freezer. It stops that clock, makes them last much longer. If you are a family that has itty bitty little ones, right? Baby formula and diapers. I think the only thing that even comes close to challenging water in number 1 is baby formula and diapers, because nobody does cloth diapers anymore, right? And who wants to be caught in a snowstorm or some kind of chaos if they need diapers? They don't want to have to go out for that. They want to make sure that they have enough, and especially baby formula. And I know that is crazy expensive. So families panic buy when things happen. It creates critical shortages when they do this, though. So if you can stay just a little bit ahead of what you need, then you're not part of that problem that occurs from the panic buying when people go, I have to have, and then they buy way too much and other people can't get to it. Most of you will remember that in the last year or two, baby formula was like impossible to get a hold of. And then the prices went even worse, right? There was all kinds of problems at the manufacturing plant or something. It was crazy. Be ahead. That's like my big thing right there. Just make sure you've got at least one package ahead of what you consume on a regular basis. And I know for young families, that's going to be hard. But hey, grandma, grandpa, mom, dad, maybe if you could stock one of those away as an extra in case, that might be helpful. Talk to them, see what they think, go from there. As a family, I'm sure you can figure it out. Coming up on number 8, batteries and flashlights. What do you mean you don't have a flashlight? Are you kidding me? Okay. Flashlights, batteries, super important because snowstorms, you know what they bring? They bring power outages. Hurricanes bring power outages. Yes, they do. Economic challenges have you turning off the lights like a crazy person, right? And just basic chaos in the area. You don't want to be sitting in the dark. So make sure that you've got your batteries and your flashlights, that you know where they are, and that you know that you have extra batteries just in case, and that everything works. Just go through and check them. It's great. These always vanish off of shelves when there's any kind of weather thing or unrest. Always. D batteries sold out regionally during Hurricane Sandy. You couldn't get your hands on a D battery. I don't know about you. I have like literally nothing in this house that takes a D battery. But some people have the radios that do, or there's some flashlights that do. But yeah, you couldn't find a D battery during Hurricane Sandy. Rechargeable batteries with solar charger give you a sustainable backup, providing there's sun to charge said batteries. So I would have a mix of both and just make sure the other ones are charged up, you know? One thing to not forget during all the chaos that this world continues to throw at us is our four-legged friends or our fin friends or our reptile friends or whatever the case, your pets, okay? They can be easy to forget when it's chaotic. They can, and it's unfortunate, but it's true. But pet owners panic when it runs low, like straight up panic. Many stores ran dry on cat food in 2023 due to supply chain bottlenecks. I had many conversations with people about you can't find canned cat food anywhere, or they only had one kind, you know. It happens. So check out Chewy, check out Amazon, check out wherever you check out. But you can buy like literally a case of canned wet cat food. You can buy a larger bag of dry food. You can supplement their food. It's not a good idea to straight up give them tuna or chicken as a regular daily thing, but you can supplement a little bit if you have to. They eat too, like every single day. And because they are our responsibility, it's our responsibility to make sure that they have what they need. Sanitation and hygiene. Yeah. Okay. Why? Toilet paper, soap, feminine hygiene, and cleaning wipes fly off the shelves when people feel uncertain. If you just roll back to 2020 a little bit, remember you couldn't get those sanitization wipes. What did they call them? Cleaning wipes. You couldn't get those anywhere. You couldn't find them, name brand, off brand, and you couldn't get your hands on them. And I remember thinking, what did people do before these came around? Because they haven't been around that long, but we've gotten so spoiled with certain things that it's like, instead of grabbing a little bit of bleach and a little bucket of water and a couple of towels, you know, people are like, no, I have to have my da da da. Okay, fine. So you want to make sure, because we don't need toilet paper runs ever again in the world. We don't, okay? It's ridiculous. The toilet paper crisis of 2020. I mean, it proves the whole thing, okay? Keep extra bars of soap. They only get better the more that they age. They cure more. They cure more. They become harder. They last longer. It's great. Vinegar and bleach from multi-purpose cleaning. That doesn't mean mix them together. That means they both have their purposes for cleaning. That's really all you need, okay, to get things clean, to disinfect them. It's beautiful. You don't need Clorox cleanup wipes or, you know, all this other funny stuff. I do say even with a bidet, you need some toilet paper. So do your thing there. Comfort foods, because I am all about the emotional support Twinkie. I really am. Yeah, it's a thing. Or Oreo. Oh, Oreo. Yes, definitely. Stress makes people grab for snacks. Coffee, chocolate, soda, chips, that kind of thing, right? During the pandemic, it was cheesecake for Phil and I. It was a bad time. Coffee prices have spiked over 15% in 1 month. So you want to make sure you're stocked up on your coffee. We talk about it all the time. Stock treats now for morale. You will thank yourself later about this one, okay? And if you're not buying the actual treats, buy the ingredients to make them yourself, because that can also boost morale when the world is upside down. Last but not least, cash on hand. I'm not talking about thousands of dollars, okay? I mean, if you got it, great, but I'm not talking about thousands of dollars. I'm talking about have some cash on hand in small bills where change doesn't have to be made. ATMs can run dry during these kinds of situations, and banks can close early in times of panic. Somebody's coming to say hi. You want to keep small bills tucked away. They spend much easier than $100 bills. Don't be that person walking around with a $100 bill at 7 o'clock in the morning trying to buy a cup of coffee. It's rude, okay? But in addition to that, they just don't have the change. So make sure that you have small bills because that will help any issues that you might have. He's just going to get his cameo in here one way or the other. For a couple of years, it was impossible to find quarters. Literally, all the businesses in town here were running out of quarters on the daily. So having change, have a change jug. It's a great way to save money without thinking that you're saving money. But definitely keep some small bills around because cash is king, even when things are upside down. So before the next news headline or weather event hits, take a walk through your home and your pantry. Grab the items that always seem to vanish first and give yourself a sense of security, a sense of comfort. I'd love to hear what you say vanishes first wherever you are. Throw it in the comments section down below. It may be a location kind of thing, as opposed to a seasonal or an event thing, but throw it in the comments section down below. Is there anything beyond the milk and bread run where you are? When the world is upside down, tensions are high, you never know what's going to hit next lately. The best thing that you can do for yourself and your family is to prepare. I'm not talking about a bunker in the middle of the woods wearing all camo, okay? I'm talking about just a prepared pantry. Having what you use, what you need, and sometimes what you want available when you can't go out or when it isn't safe to go out to get it. Until next time, everybody, be safe. Keep stacking it to the rafters, my friends.